Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, X, wherever you may be watching this live stream. It is 6:17 p.m., April 10th, 2024. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. Did not get to do a live radio show today. Some weather issues. Had some trees down in the road, and frankly, just didn't have any interest in driving through a tornado again to get to Florida. I did that last time, and I was like, never again. It just ain't. I love y'all, but it ain't worth it. It definitely ain't worth it. Let me pull up the chats here. See how you guys be sure to hit like, hit share, all that good stuff. Please hit the share button. Makes a huge difference in what we do. Them getting the word out. Daniel, appreciate you, brother. I see you in there, hitting it with the flex. Real quick, show tomorrow, going to be live. Got a big one. Legendary, former Clarion Ledger reporter. Did the whole Byron Della Beckwith stuff. Busted the Goon squad reporting wide open. Mr. Jerry Mitchell will be in the studio for 2 full hours. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. with myself and Sean Yurtkaran on 103.9 FM WYAB. Again, tomorrow morning, Jerry Mitchell, legendary Mississippi reporter, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We're going to discuss the Goon Squad stuff in depth. I'm going to touch on a little bit of it right now because I do believe it's relevant. I just emailed some pictures to myself here. I'm going to show you all these. They are protesting right now in downtown Brandon. Let me pull this up real quick. Here we go. This is right now in downtown Brandon at the statue. Everybody's favorite statue. Won't let me make it larger, but y'all see it there. We got another picture right here. This is live. I just got sent these a minute ago. This is right now at the Confederate statue in downtown Brandon. Peaceful protest. Nothing wrong with that. Teach their own. Teach their own. I can't read the signs there. I assume it is probably something to the extent of ... Brian Bailey resigned. That seems to be the sentiment right now. Is Brian Bailey resigned. It's all I've seen online. And I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that's what that is. I did have a flyer for this somebody sent me. And again, I believe that's what the gist of it is. See, I may have screenshot it here. I'm not going to email it to myself, but all right, we got some breaking news as I'm doing this. JPD police chase underway for the murder suspect in connection with the deadly Parkway Drive shooting. That was the gay couple or gay guys. One was stalking the other one. And that's an assumption on my end based on what I know. One guy shot the guy 17 times and stabbed him with an axe. Or not really stabbed somebody with an axe, but he hit him with an axe 30 times. JPD is in a live pursuit with him right now. If I had to guess, it does not end with that guy alive. He's gonna suicide by cop himself. That is gonna be how that ends. I'll be shocked if otherwise. But we'll keep you posted if anything pops off during this live stream. But again, peaceful protest going on right now downtown Brandon. Let's X out of that. And let's get to the sentencing. The Goon Squad was sentenced today in state court. They will not serve an additional extra day in jail. The time they got was less than the federal time, and it will run concurrent. Or if it wasn't less, it was the same, whatever. It'll run concurrent. They will not spend any extra time in jail due to state charges, which I don't think anybody's surprised. If you thought they were going to get more state time than Fed time, you haven't paid attention to what's going on. I just didn't see that happening. Here is I'm gonna play this. This is the press conference. This is on WLBT. This is the press conference of Michael Corey Jenkins and the attorney there, Shabazz. Let's play this.
Here in Rankin County Circuit Court is a day that we've long awaited. This day, the Rankin County Goon Squad, Hunter Elwood, Brett McAlpin, Christian Denton, Opdyke, Middleton, and Deputy Hartsfield from Richland. They all had to come and appear in a courtroom where they have created much mischief in.
That's right.
For many, many years, the Goon Squad has come into this courtroom and they have testified falsely against persons that they have beaten and caused to be wrongfully incarcerated. In this courtroom and in this courthouse, they have been given credibility to their statements and what they have presented to this court. But today was dramatically different. Today, the judge in this Circuit County Court has given out justice to the Rankin County Goon Squad and have brought them to justice in front of the world here today. In the same location where they have harmed many people, they were brought here in prison outfits, prison uniforms, and they're all headed to jail for a long time.
That's right.
You all know that the federal prison sentences are lengthy. Christian Dedman, 40 years. Brett McAlpin, 27 years. Hunter Elwood, 20 years. Daniel Opdyke, 17 and a half years. Jeffrey Middleton, 17 and a half years. And Hartsfield, 10 years. Today, they did not receive any additional time to their federal sentences. What Judge Ratcliffe did do was he departed from the initial recommendations. The initial recommendations were very low in this case. And that would be indicative of the past. I think that Judge Ratcliffe departed from the recommendations, and doing so, he set a new standard here in Rankin County, that police brutality will not be tolerated in Rankin County. Let us be clear, no police officer in the history of Rankin County has ever been held criminally responsible for harming anyone, let alone a black person. No deputy in Rankin County has ever been given a single day of jail time in this courtroom.
See, that's what pisses me off. And that's where you start to make this a polarizing deal when you decide to say, especially a black man, well, or especially a white person. You clearly just said nobody, no deputy or law enforcement has ever been arrested in Rankin County for assaulting anybody, period. There's no point in adding the race aspect to it. 0 point in adding the race aspect.
And so what happened in this courtroom today is significant.
All right, so I think most people agree that those guys got what they deserve. White, black, Republican, Democrat, very few people outside of their families, I'm sure. And I understand that, you know, your friends, family, they're going to ride for you. I wouldn't expect anything different. Wouldn't say anything different. If it was my family, right or wrong, you know, I'm going to ride with them and say, oh, you know, man, they messed up, but I think that's most people, real talk. I know it's that way in the urban community based on how many shirts I see with people that are in jail for killing folks say free so-and-so. So I wouldn't expect that to be any different out here. But most people agree they got what they deserve. Derek asked here, do you think Bailey survives this? Dodges prosecution himself and the illegal subpoenas or resigns? You know, Sean's got a really good take on that, Derek. He, being former 10-year prosecutor, he thinks that Bailey's using his resignation as a bargaining chip to avoid jail time. That, you know, this is all speculation. We don't know this. I would just be shocked. Just my gut feeling. You know, I am not a legal expert by any stretch of the imagination. My gut feeling is I don't know how he dodges it, how he avoids it. I think they want more than his resignation. I think they want jail time. They want criminal charges. I think we're going to find out at some point that that's exactly what they're going to go for. Will they get it? We'll see. I would be shocked if he's not in court within the next 12 months. Now, how long can they drag it out with the appeals process and everything else? I mean, he may finish up this 4 years. I mean, if I'm him, I don't resign. You lose all leverage if you resign. So, I mean, regardless of what you think of Brian Bailey, or you think of all this stuff, and I have to be 100% honest with y'all. Brian Bailey's never been nothing but nice to me in the few encounters I've had with him. So just like on a personal level, he's always been nice to me. But if I'm just looking at this objectively, like everybody, just reading what I see and making an opinion, it don't look good for him. Let's take a look real quick at Derek. Great question. Thank you. I'll read some more of y'all's comments and questions here kind of as we go. I'm going to try to do this for about an hour tonight. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Again, please hit that like button, hit that share button. Let's go over to Jackson Jambalaya here real quick. Kingfish kind of broke it down where we don't have to just read everything in detail there. I don't have to read the long argument. I just want to look at the time they got. This is over at jacksonjambalaya.com. Looks like Brett McAlpin got 15 years in prison for hindering prosecution, 5 years in prison for conspiracy to hinder prosecution. Middleton got 15 years for hindering prosecution, 5 for sorry, my phone was ringing. 5 years in prison for conspiracy to hinder. Christian Dedman must serve 20 years in prison for burglary, 5 years for conspiracy to hinder prosecution. The sentences run concurrent with federal. Hunter Elwood, 20 years in prison for aggravated assault, 20 years in prison for burglary, 5 years for conspiracy to hinder prosecution. So the 20 and 20 run concurrent, so it's not going to be 40. That would make sense. Daniel Opdyke got 15 years in prison for hindering prosecution, 5 years in prison for conspiracy. And last, Joshua Hartfield, 10 years in prison for hindering prosecution, 5 years in prison for conspiracy to hinder prosecution. Now, I would tell y'all, I don't necessarily understand what all that means. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. But my good friend Sean Yerkron can break it down in perfect detail for us, and he will tomorrow morning. Again, we're going to have Jerry Mitchell on the Clay Edwards Show. I'm so excited about this. I mean, we throw the word legend and legendary around a lot, but I think if you call Jerry Mitchell anything other than a legendary reporter here in the state of Mississippi, you are lying to yourself. He's going to be in the studio at 103.9 WYAB from 7 to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with us. We're going to really peel the onion back on this. It was Jerry's reporting that busted this wide open with the New York Times and Mississippi Today. So I'm really excited at the opportunity to get to talk to Jerry Mitchell in person. All right, so just got some breaking news here. The murder suspect that JPD was on the pursuit with is in custody. They were able to get him alive. So good news there. He will have to pay for his crimes in a court of law. Now, it's Hinds County, so anything goes. No matter how good of a job JPD is doing here lately, you still got these nut job judges. So we'll see how it all shakes out. I got an exclusive photo of the arrest. Let's see here. We got some breaking information. I think we can beat anybody else to this. I am emailing it to myself real quick. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Just got to make up a fake title to email this to myself. I probably need to get some better technology where I can just Bluetooth it to my computer. It probably is already on my computer. I just don't know how to do it. I'm quasi tech savvy, but I'm not that tech savvy. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, great job, JPD. Great job. Looks like it ended up in Madison County. So great job to those guys, Ridgeland, whoever all was involved there. We do appreciate them. Man, I've been so impressed with the turnaround at JPD. Chief Wade, I know his hands are tied. And I mean, I don't want to speak for the man. I've never met him before, but he's doing what he's doing the most that he can do, I believe. All right, let me switch this back over. Again, here is a photo of the alleged murderer there in Jackson. Pull it up here real quick. Here we go. Look at that. That's live from the scene. We appreciate that to my compadre who sent it over, who will remain unnamed. What was that fella's name? I got it right here. This guy's a former cop too, by the way. Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson is his name. He ain't been a cop for 10 years. He was a JPD cop at 23 years old. And I don't, if y'all aren't familiar with the story, allegedly, another fella that he allegedly killed the other day had a restraining order on multiple restraining orders. And this guy went and it was Louisiana State Police got him. I'm sorry. Louisiana State Police got him. I thought those looked like City of Ridgeland. Not City of Ridgeland. I thought those were like the blue. Somebody in Madison County got blue uniforms. Anyway, all right, so Louisiana got him. Let's see here. I have a screenshot out of a Facebook group. Let me find that text from Sean. Somebody in his family, not his family, but the other guy's family said that he stalked him and put air tags on him and stole his keys and got a key made. Madison PD has the blue uniforms. Thank you, Rebecca. He stole the guy's keys, got a key to his apartment made, put key tags and put the air tags on his car. Those air tags are dangerous as hell. I had one pop up on my phone, said that there was an air tag. What it was is somebody left their keys. When I had my shop, I had a very expensive vehicle in the shop. I didn't want anything to happen to it, so I put the keys in my car. Well, I started getting notifications on my phone that there's an air tag in this vehicle. And I didn't know what the hell an air tag was necessarily at that time. I've never had one. Freaked me out. Then I finally figured out it was on that guy's keychain in case he lost his keys. But how easy it'd be to stalk somebody. So yeah, anyway, without going into I can't find the text I was looking for, but the family is claiming that the guy shot him 17 times and axed him. I don't know if you'd call that stabbing or what the technical term for hitting somebody with an axe would be. Bludgeoned 30 times. It's got to be an ugly, ugly scene. And it's when I say the gay stuff, I'm not knocking. I'm just this was beyond this was a fatal attraction type thing. I want to try to paint the picture of why this guy was so crazy. He clearly was infatuated with this guy and couldn't stand the fact that they weren't together. At least is how it looks to me. Michelle asks, so former police officer and gay. Wow. Yeah. Jeff said it's chopping. Yeah, so he chopped him 30 times. Sad story, man. You hate that for anybody. You hate that for anybody. But if he don't suicide himself in jail, he will get to stand trial. Not going to be good for him. But he may like jail. Jail may be a vacay for him. So let me get my emails off there. All right, let's shift gears back to the Goon Squad. Again, we'll close. Well, I don't have a whole lot more to say to it. I think they got what they all had coming, and we'll have a big show about it tomorrow. But the rest of their lives begin today, and we'll see. Do they have anything on the sheriff? Do they snitch or whatever you want to call it? Do they testify against the sheriff, claiming that he knew this stuff to try to? I mean, once you've done your deal and you've been sentenced, there's no appeal when you agree to a plea. And I don't believe there's going to be any way for them to get time off their sentencing by snitching after the fact if they've already done it. So I think they're going to jail for what they're going to jail for. was it 80 some odd percent of the time you have to do on federal? You're not going to see these guys for a long time. For a long, long time. And some of them maybe ever. You're going to jail for 40 years. It'll be a long, long time before you get out if you make it through there. I want to hit a story that's funny. Y'all know I like to do a little comedy type stuff. I like to laugh. Everything doesn't have to be so serious all the time. I ran across this story today. Thank you, Sean, for sending it to me. It's absolutely one of the funniest stories I've ever seen in my life. I even made a video about it. A man, as you see here on the screen, and this happened in North Carolina. Thank God it wasn't Mississippi. Our weirdos here like to have sex with their dogs. This guy likes to have sex with other people's cars. Not with the people in their cars. Hear me out here. With their cars. And I know it's hard. This is a hard shift of gears, speaking of cars, from Goon Squad and murder to man rapes a Toyota Avalon. But hey, it is what it is. I'll circle back to the serious stuff. Let's listen to this real quick.
Talking to us after police say a man was arrested for using her car to sexually please himself for 3 years.
Bailey Bockover is live in the studio now with the details. Bailey?
Yeah, Dave, Courtney, police use the word mechanophilia to describe the behavior of a man they say they
Mechanophilia.
caught on camera. That's a sexual attraction to machines or vehicles. The owner of the car says the pieces of this several-year mystery started to come together when she took her car to the shop multiple times, and it was suggested that someone was doing something on it they shouldn't have been.
Now, can you imagine being Bailey Bockover here? Like, a man is raping cars. Haley, tell us what happened. Or Bailey, whatever. Bailey, tell us what happened. You know, you're Bailey over there, young, I say young, younger, up and coming news personality. And here you are on the 5, 6, 10 p.m. lunchtime news, whatever it was there in North Carolina. And you're having to explain to people what mechanophilia is. It says mechanophilia is defined as sexual attraction to machines or vehicles. I always thought that was called autoerotica. Anyway, let's finish the story here. It is a sexy Avalon.
Carolyn Taylor of Kinston says it was a couple of years ago when she started noticing fluid underneath her burgundy 2008 Toyota Avalon.
They're calling it fluid, y'all.
And thought something was wrong with her car. Turns out that Kinston police believe that the fluid was from this man, 52-year-old Walter McCrae, who engages in mechanophilia, or a sexual attraction to machines or vehicles.
I thought something was happening from under the hood of my car because whenever he'd come up here, he'd probably urinate all over the hood of the car and it would run all down, and I thought it was something coming from under the hood. I took my car to the shop 3 times.
A warrant against McCrae says that on several occasions, McCrae also climbed on the hood of Taylor's car for sexual gratification. Taylor says this has been going on for 3 years, and she could never catch him with her own camera until finally Kinston police were able to with a camera they set up.
They caught him on camera. They came Monday morning, and they took the films out, and they come back to the door and said, "We got him this time." She said, "We got good films, we got good pictures, but it was more than we really wanted to see." So,
with the mystery believed to be solved, Taylor.
Yeah, could you imagine? That's got to be one of the perks of being a cop, right? You get to see some really crazy stuff on video. Now, you get to see a lot of bad stuff too. But there's just something about knowing you just got to let this guy finish, right? If you catch him doing it, like, no, we're going to let him finish this one all the way through, because how often do you get to see a guy
Taylor
rape
shared
a Toyota
what she
Avalon?
wants to see happen.
I'm hoping that they maybe put him away so he can get some help. He really needs some help.
And Taylor says knowing that they have a suspect locked up, she feels a lot better because she was getting worried that he would have tried to come into her house at some point.
Oh, don't flatter yourself. He likes cars, not people. Sexy Toyota Avalons. I mean, I was more surprised than not like a Cadillac or something. I mean, not trying to insinuate that black guys like Cadillacs or wouldn't like a Toyota Avalon, but I'm just saying, an Avalon is a strange choice. When I first saw the story, I thought it was maybe his car, and somebody called him because, I mean, guys do love our cars. I just don't know if I love them that much. Michelle says, I can't unhear this. I can't either. That's why I'm sharing it with y'all. I can't unhear it either. There's just so much there to unpack. Mental health is legitimately a huge problem in this country. We have some real mental health issues. Sometimes I think I have them after doing stories like this. I'm reading this article here on WLBT real quick about Marcus Johnson. I'm seeing if they were updating. I'm going to share the picture on Twitter that we have. Marcus Johnson has been caught. What's the weirdest thing that y'all have ever seen? I think the girl that had the sexual affairs with the dog may be the strangest case of sicko. I mean, outside of where actual humans get assaulted, but like weird fetish stuff. I think the girl and the dogs down in Jones County, I think that's the weirdest one for me, at least since I've been covering stuff or been a part of the media or whatever you call what I do. A guy dry humping a car, it's gross. I mean, especially with him peeing all on it and I guess assaulting its tailpipe. I mean, I don't know. But definitely, I think the girl down in South Mississippi is the worst. Let's see here. We got a few more stories. If you got anything y'all want to hear me discuss, let me know. Michelle says, my car is traumatized. I need a new one. I'm traumatized after reading that personally. Let's see here. Breaking news. Hey, every now and then, man, you got to post stuff in live time just because you're the first one with it. Let's see. Busted. Arrested by Louisiana Highway Patrol. State police is what they call themselves. I'm going to be in Louisiana tomorrow for a little bit, going to see the legend himself, Dr. Jordan Peterson is doing a seminar tomorrow. I guess that's my lecture. God, I thought when I got old enough to never go to a lecture again by force, that I would ever go to one by choice. But Dr. Jordan Peterson is indeed a rare bird. Let's see here. I got another text from somebody says 20 police cars on 49 northbound about a mile before the 20 split. Not sure what's going on. Richland, Pearl, and others. So we got another potential F around and find out participant running from the police in Rankin County. Guys, has anybody ran from the police in Rankin County and got away? I don't think it works like that. I don't think you get away anymore. It never ends well. And you know what it is 99 times out of 100 from what I'm seeing, at least the cover stories I've covered? It's felons with firearms. Like they're riding around. You're like, put yourself in the mind of a guy that's a felon with a firearm. You know you're gonna FAFO if you get pulled over. You're going to jail. I mean, it's like they don't play on the felon with a firearm stuff. But most of them are riding around in a stolen car or a car without a tag. Like, man, if you were going to be an idiot, and roll the dice as a felon with a firearm, do not ride dirty or in a car that has an expired tag. Don't give them any reason to pull you over. And look, I did a whole show last week. I want to say it was me and Sean talking about felons being able to get their voting rights back and their gun rights back, nonviolent first-time felons. So I support felons, nonviolent first-time offenders getting their voting and gun rights back. But until that law has changed, which it doesn't look like it's going to, the law is the law. It's just like people who think they shouldn't get arrested for marijuana now because medical marijuana is legal. Yeah, well, illegal marijuana ain't. Well, we can argue about if it should be, shouldn't be, till we're blue in the face. But while it's illegal, it's still illegal. They're not going to show you any leniency because it's legal now. Don't do illegal stuff. Unfortunately, I mean, I hate to rain on everybody's parade. You're riding around with a gun and you ain't supposed to, you probably gonna go to jail. Derek says, we just need more gun laws. That should do it. 100%, man. We're just 2 or 3 more laws away from getting things right, from really getting things figured out. Maybe we should ban some more stuff too. That always fixes stuff. When you ban drugs go away. You ban guns, bad guys say, oh man, I don't need a gun no more. They're banned. My ops ain't got one. In my experience, that is not how it works. And I know Derek's being facetious, as am I. As am I. Oh, Kib. Y'all know how I feel. If y'all listen to me for any amount of time, I can't stand this trying to ban things constantly. Like that'll make it better. It never makes it better. Hey, real quick too, before I forget, I got to interview the Tiger King himself, Joe Exotic, from jail the other day. It was recorded in 2 parts. And unfortunately, the second half of that conversation got destroyed. I was using a different laptop. It crashed halfway through it. I wasn't able to get I was not able to salvage the conversation. I'm going to be on the phone with him 3 p.m. Friday, and I'm going to upload it directly to the podcast as soon as the conversation ends. Now I've got fail safes in place to prevent it from crashing again. So we're going to have an awesome conversation. If it's half as good as what got destroyed when my system crashed, he was talking about Carol Baskin, that bitch Carol Baskin. He was talking about his Playgirl photo shoot and just all kind of other crazy stuff. Jeff Lowe, all the characters from the show. Once he got comfortable with talking to me, it was like I was watching the Tiger King, except he was talking to me. It was insane. Unfortunately, we've lost that conversation, but I hope we can recapture just a little bit of that magic Friday. Derek says, I can't believe you got that interview. Me either. Some people were like, man, why would you want to interview him? It's stupid. It's stupid. I don't think it is. I don't think the guy should be in jail. I think Tiger King is probably one of the most, if not the most watched Netflix show ever. So say what you want about him. He's super famous. He's immediately the most famous person I've ever interviewed. When you're trying to grow a show, grow a platform, sometimes it takes outside the box stuff to grow your audience. I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but this is a job. It is about money. And the more people that listen, the more valuable the property becomes. The property being the show, being me. So I'd be lying if I said that you don't have to look at those kind of aspects. Every now and then good content does its job, and that's why we've gotten what we've gotten. But every now and then you got to step outside the box and do fun stuff. Talking to the Tiger King is fun. Dee says he's pretty smart listening to the first part. He's very well in the know. He really is a smart guy. The way he lived his life and the way he was portrayed in that show makes him look like an idiot. And don't get me wrong, he's done some idiot stuff. But he's still a smart guy. I've done some idiot stuff. I consider myself a smart guy. So Michelle says we need a Netflix Clay show. Hey, I am all for a reality show. Mike asked, hey, Clay, did you talk about the former JPD officer getting chased into Louisiana? He FAFO today. Actually, I did, Mike. If you're just tuning in, we actually have an exclusive photo from the scene of the arrest, and I don't believe anybody else has that yet. Here he is right here being arrested by Louisiana State Police. Boom, shakalaka boom. People all the time bust my balls. They're like, oh man, you always riding police is nuts. You know, you always taking up for the cops. Hey man, you're a bootlicker. That's the word I'm looking for. You're a bootlicker. Yeah, well, I'm also the one that gets sent the photos that nobody else gets sent the videos nobody else gets. We talked about the Goon Squad. This platform was built on, at the end of the day, defending police and kind of standing up against criminals. And that's what I'm going to do. Do cops do bad stuff? Yeah. Am I going to talk about every incident? No, I'm just not. There's plenty of other outlets that hate cops. They can do all that reporting they want to do. I ain't going to be the one. If there's something just blatantly bad enough, like Goon Squad bad, yeah, I can't ignore that. Is it your kid got roughed up a little when he got pulled over because he's got a smart ass mouth? That's not a story to me. I've been that kid that had a smart ass mouth and got roughed up a little bit. Told the story a million times. I got tuned up and it saved my life. There's been times I've wanted to smart out the cops current day. You just have an odd encounter with them. But I don't do it anymore. I like being able to come home and get on the computer and go to work, see my kids, see my girl, see my family. And we ain't gonna be the ones that cover the negative. We cover enough bad news. Let all these other outlets that are anti-cop, these kind of Democrat liberal outlets, they can cover the negative. I've way done my part covering the Goon Squad stuff. All right, let's shift gears here. Let me pull up my favorites here on X. Derek says real quick, shout out to Derek, man. Him and his wife, great folks. He says, I want you to do another show about the entertainment career and all the headliners you brought in and met. Oh, about when I was a club owner and concert promoter. I will do that one day. We would definitely do that one day. I love talking about myself. We'll definitely make that happen. All right. I got two more stories I want to hit. First, let's have a little fun again. Let's talk. Donald Trump is making liberal heads explode. He went to a Chick-fil-a in Atlanta today. It appears that staffed completely by black folks, and they absolutely loved him because they know that he's a great man, a good God-fearing man. And one of them even tells him, President Trump, don't listen to what they say about you. We love you. All right, here it is right here. Make sure my volume's up.
I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you. We support you.
Listen to that right there. She says, I don't care what the media says.
I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you. We support you, man. Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a
See, this has been my experience with young black kids that work, that are out here busting their butts, getting up every day going to work, is they 100% are tired of these kids that are out there doing all this robbing, stealing, killing, drug dealing, and all this nonsense, because it makes everybody look bad. It makes people stereotype them. I get stopped all the time when we're out shopping, out eating, whatever. And I say young black kids, I mean, you know, teenagers, early 20s, that's kids under 25. They say they watch the show. They love what we do. They like me going all gas, no brakes. Because a lot of times they can't say these things because of living in the community. But they appreciate it. Good folks appreciate it, and they understand this ain't about race. This is about right and wrong. But here's Donald Trump walking in there ordering 30 milkshakes. This is great.
So can I have 30 milkshakes? And also some chicken. I'm going to take care of the customers. Is business good? You're making a lot of money? Everyone, you're getting rich, right? Thank you very much.
I don't know. Say whatever you want. I don't care if it's President Trump. I don't care if it's Obama, even that douchebag that's in the office now. If you're just sitting at work one day at Chick-fil-A or whatever fast food restaurant and the president walks in, that's pretty cool. Politics aside, to just be at work at the random Chick-fil-A and the president, former president, whatever, walk in, that's a cool day. Now, I mean, I'd throw a milkshake at Biden. It wouldn't be cool to me to meet Biden, but a younger 20-year-old, maybe. FBI's asshole, I'm kidding. Wink, wink, it's a joke. Wouldn't throw a milkshake at Biden. Wink, wink. All right, another story here that's been making the rounds. Talk about FA and talk about FO. Another one of these. See, okay, so the complete opposite of these great kids working at Chick-fil-A is Dexter Reed here. Dexter Reed, let's play his mama. Well, I don't have it saved separately. So this guy gets pulled over. He shoots at the cops, and they climate change his ass. He is no more. Got climate changed. Let's watch this. And then his mama gets on here, and she is 100% absolutely your stereotypical, my baby didn't do nothing.
Roll that one down too. Hey, don't roll the window.
See, he's wearing a mask. He's wearing one of those like ski masks that covers all of his face because I guess, COVID, climate change is going to get him.
Open the door now! Open the door now!
He had just bought his new car 3 days before that, and he was just riding around in his car. He said, "Mom, I'm going for a ride," and they killed him.
No shit! And let's watch it again. Priceless.
For a ride, and they killed him. They killed him.
Roll that one down too.
They killed him.
Don't roll the window.
My baby didn't do nothing. Your baby shot at the cops. That's hardly my baby didn't do nothing. He shot at the cops. You know what your baby did do? He fucked around, he found out. That's what your baby did. Fucked around, found all the way out. My baby didn't do nothing. It is riding around, Mom, I'm just going to ride around in my car and shoot at some cops. Consequences, repercussions. Mind-boggling to me why that is so hard for people to understand. So, like, here's the story. And Libs of TikTok's got it right here. It's what they want is they want another George Floyd. They saw the political equity that George Floyd thing got them going into an election year. Cops are bad. Donald Trump's pro-cops, or Donald Trump's bad by proxy. If a cop kills a black kid, that's basically Donald Trump pulling the trigger. That's the paint. That's the picture they try to paint. And it ain't working no more. I don't care how many, and this is where I get back on the pro-cop thing. George Floyd was a bad guy. And again, he suicided himself. And a lot of people don't agree with me on that. That's fine if you don't. I don't care. We're all allowed to have our opinions. Just because he didn't have a gun doesn't mean he didn't put himself in that situation. And he swallowed an 8-ball of dope. That damn sure didn't help the fact none. I just got to watch it one more time. Just one more time. These never get old to me. These videos like this are the equivalent of watching liberals cry on election like 2016 in Hillary Clinton's headquarters.
He had just bought his new car 3 days before that, and he was just riding around in his car. He said, "Mom, I'm going for a ride," and they killed him. They
Killed?
him.
What the fuck is kilt? Was he wearing a kilt? Killed him. God. I mean, this is the stuff that makes taking stuff like this serious. And see, then they try to post pictures like this. It's the Trayvon Martin thing. They try to make him look like an angel. 96 shots fired. Where the heck? Chicago? I didn't even know where it was. Chicago makes perfect sense. Let's see. Let me make my screen. We'll screw it. But this guy's got a great point. So she is so fake, it's disgusting. Dexter Reed's mom has only made things worse by lying about how her son died. Yeah, because the mom is pretending that he didn't shoot. Like, they're just straight lying. You do your cause no justice when you straight lie. Like, because inevitably, even people who want to agree with you and want you to be right, even if they don't publicly admit it, they can look at it and say to themselves, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. They may not publicly say anything, but they ain't going to be your ride or die folks. I mean, like George Floyd created a unique circumstance because we saw that video before we knew the facts. That knee on the back of that neck didn't kill George Floyd. That 8 ball of dope did when it made his heart explode. Now, the knee on the back of the neck may have caused the anxiety and the stress and the heart rate to raise to eventually cause that. I'll give you that. But he put himself in that position. But we don't know all that because we don't know the autopsy before all hell breaks loose. There was another picture of this kid. There was one of these. Here it is. This was one of those kind of before the media spin versus the reality. This happened last month, by the way. Here's the media narrative. Police fire 96 shots, 41 seconds, killing black man during traffic stop.
Unlock the doors now. Open the door now. Open the door now. Open the door now.
And right there, he decides to start shooting at cops. This is no longer a traffic stop. This is a ambush on police. Because, if the police were the ones that started the shooting, let's make this make sense here. If the police engaged the shooting initially, why would they be turned around running?
Door now! Open the door now! Open the door now! 11-6-4 David, shots fired! Shots fired! Hey! Hey! Shots fired! Fernando Neighbors! 10-1! 10-1! Fucking A! It's St. Louis good! Shots fired!
So he's not trying to drive off.
Hey, shots fired! Pick it up!
So you can see right here, I see somebody's laid out right there. I think that's where they got him right there. Let's watch this real quick.
Hey, shot fire! Pick it up!
So right about here. Right there. That's intense, man. Intense. So we're playing that because this is going to be a big story. And you all need to know the facts. Because most people won't even go and try to watch the video. Most people won't do something as simple as a Google or a Twitter search and try to see the story for themselves. All they're going to see is this bogus ass headline right here. This will be spread all over our media in the next few days. This is the Washington Post, so this is a national newspaper. All they're going to tell you is black man killed during traffic stop. And they're going to show a picture of this future rocket scientist and engineer right here graduating. That's the picture they want to paint. So for my black audience listening or watching this, this is why I talk all the shit I talk. This is why I want to show y'all what we see through our lens. I always hear about my lived experience can't be discounted. My lived experience can't be discounted. Mine can't either. This is why I'll be honest. I hate saying that phrase. I'll be honest. I do it all the time. And I don't know why, because I don't lie. When the Goon Squad stuff initially came out, I just didn't believe it. Now I was proven wrong. Again, I tell you all the time, I don't lie, but I do get stuff wrong every now and then. I was wrong about the Goon Squad. I just thought stuff like this makes me very hesitant to believe stuff like that. When 99 times out of 100, and that's probably being kind, it's probably more like 1 time out of 1,000 that the police actually do what they're accused of doing and it being screwed up. I don't tend to believe it because of stuff like this. That's why I always say future rocket scientists and engineers, because that's the paint. That's the picture they want to paint. Every time these kids go out there, FAFO, and get climate changed. My baby didn't do nothing. Your baby did. He FAFO'd. I want to watch the moment just one more time, in case y'all just getting in. This lady's kid shot at the police, and she claiming her baby didn't do nothing.
He had just bought his new car 3 days before that, and he was just riding around in his car. He said, "Mom, I'm going for a ride." And they killed him. They killed him.
You think she's wearing glasses? Look at that fake ass hair. She's wearing glasses because she knows she ain't crying. I mean, I hate to talk about somebody losing their kid, but I just ain't got no sympathy for you. They just arrested and charged 2 white kids, or two white parents up in Michigan. Ethan Crumbly, kid did a mass shooting in Michigan back in, I want to say November of 21. Was it 21 or 22? Anyway, I want to say 21. Did a mass shooting, and they arrested both parents and charged them, and they just got sentenced to 10 to 15 years each in prison for their son's actions. And now they're saying that it wasn't because of his actions, it was because of inaction on their part that could have prevented it. Well, man, I mean, hey, look, I'm cool with parents going to jail. If we're gonna apply that equally, I'm cool with it. I'm guessing she knew that her kid was out riding around thugging. That she knew, most likely, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and knew when she raised her kid without a father in the home, that there was possible consequences such as this that could unfold. But she chose to go that route, to live that life. Is she accountable for her kid shooting at the police? I'm saying fair is fair. Fair is fair. Don't believe what you see in the media. Do your own homework. Now, I would say this in defense of the Dexter Wade kid, or not defense, but quasi-rationale. The media has a lot to do with this, with these black kids completely freaking the F out when they get pulled over, and it going and turn into like a fight or flight scenario. The media, BLM, the NAACP, all these folks have a lot to do with it by pushing this narrative that cops are just killing innocent random black folks at every traffic stop. So I've said it before on the radio. If I'm a young black kid and I get pulled over by the police, I am nervous. If I believe everything I'm seeing on TV constantly. And you know, that's all you get fed. That's all you get told is, baby, the police wants to kill you. They want these police is killing black folks. And that's all you're raised up believing, is that the cops are the enemy. When you're breaking the law and you do dumb shit, now we ain't got to go. Y'all are smart. Y'all know all this, but I will give them the slight caveat here that if that's all you've ever been told, and then it happens and you get pulled over, you go into freak out mode, all this is totally preventable. You know, all these black leaders want to talk about what they can do to save more black lives and how to prevent negative police and young black men interactions. Screw your peace rallies and your Dove releases and your town halls and all that. How about you get into schools and at a young age, you have the officer there and you run through a traffic stop and you explain the things that are going to be asked of you in a traffic stop or an interaction with cops. Explain that, have your ID ready. Keep your mouth shut. Show them how to communicate with the police. Baby Yoda says balloon releases. Gosh, those balloon releases. I was just thinking about those a second ago. If you live in a majority black city and somebody gets killed, do not, I repeat, do not go to a balloon release. Those always end in somebody else getting killed, which spawns another balloon release. Those things are, what does Yoda say? It's a trap. It's a trap. You know, teach these kids how to get out of a traffic stop alive. It's just like the police pursuits. It doesn't matter what they were pulling you over for. When you decide to go all gas, no brakes, the expired tag ain't what you got yourself chased for. It's for you deciding to ignore the blue lights and put everybody else's life in danger by trying to run from the cops. It's the same thing. When you decide to resist arrest, it don't matter what you were getting arrested for. It's a counterfeit $20 bill, George Floyd. If it's for littering, it doesn't matter. Cussing in public. If you decide to resist and fight the cops, you've hit the reset button. It's on, son. Because now you're putting that cop in a life or death situation. If it's fuck him, it's definitely fuck you. Excuse the harsh language tonight. But sometimes the properly placed fuck gets my point across a lot more than me trying to tiptoe around it and be more articulate. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Don't forget, Jerry Mitchell will be on the air live with me and Sean Yorkron tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the WYAB 103.9 FM on my radio show, The Clay Edwards Show. Would love to have you guys all listen live. Podcast to be available by 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Derek says, roll your window down like an innocent, normal person. Yes. And going back to the marijuana thing, even if you have a medical marijuana license, it ain't legal to ride around and smoke in your car. I mean, maybe if you're the passenger, I don't know. But if you're the driver, it ain't legal to ride around high. You get pulled over and your automobile smells like you've been busting down blunts with them razors, Jack, to quote my old Mississippi Mafia friends. That's probable cause for everything else that comes after that. Ask that girl that's on the Jackson City Council. Well, don't remember her first name. Angelique Lee. She got pulled over and got given a DUI in Madison, not for alcohol, for marijuana. You gonna ride around and smoke? You got to deal with them. Again, we go back to that saying, consequences and repercussions. I don't understand why this is so hard. I don't understand why we constantly make excuses for people that do this. Answer a question on X. Let me see here. Check my messages. Let's see one thing here. We've gotten a couple breaking news things since we've been on the air here, so I do appreciate people that send me stuff. I posted this on my Facebook page the other day. I'm gonna put my phone number out here. This is my text line. This comes directly to my cell phone. If you guys social media messages may be the absolute worst way to get in touch with me. If you guys ever got a lead, if you've right here. There's the number on the bottom of the screen here. There it is. 769-241-1944. You guys ever have anything anonymous you want to send me? You got a story, whatever. Don't have to be anonymous. I'll gladly share your information. Share your name, tag you, whatever if you want it. That's the way you can get in touch with me. That's the best way. That comes directly to my cell phone. You can't call it. It's just a text line. I don't answer calls. I don't answer numbers I don't know. Way too much spam nowadays. Way too many crazy people I don't want to talk to. But I will read a text from anybody. So that is the way to get in touch with me. I had somebody accuse me of dodging messages the other day. I don't have notifications turned on Facebook. that big Facebook page I have, it gets so much engagement. That's not me bragging. That's just me making a point here. That I would constantly be doing this all day if I had to have notifications on. Let's check one more thing here real quick, and I'm gonna let you guys go. I got to get ready for tomorrow. Make sure we haven't had anything break that I'm not seeing. Hey man, I think we got it. There's a levee about to break in Yazoo City. A lot of weather. I think I mentioned something about the weather. We were going to talk about weather too. I'm not really going to get to that. For once, the weather people were right. I think it lived up to expectations. They've been wrong a lot lately, and I actually have no problem with them ever being wrong. Like one thing you're allowed to, that I accept from the media, is being wrong about the weather. Especially when they say it's going to get worse and it's better. I'll never be mad that the tornado didn't come through. I will never be upset with you if you told me bad weather was coming and it didn't. So I got radar and all that as well, and I can look at it, but I don't know exactly what I'm looking at. Like, I don't trust the media in much. I do trust meteorologists. Like, I feel like they have no reason to lie. I don't know what hook echo and a squall and all these things are. They sound bad, and when they're with a tornado, they sound even worse. Derek says, "Thank you for the good content." Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. I will take the compliment. Derek also says, "Want to know how many times I got shot when I was pulled over and had my license and insurance in both hands? 0." Exactly, man. Not getting shot by the cops has got to be the easiest thing in the world to accomplish. That's not my white privilege talking or nothing. Like, not getting shot by the cops has got to be the easiest thing in the world. Now, you may still go to jail, which sucks. You get out there in Raymond, you probably wish you got shot by the cops and you got to go to the hospital. Like, man, can we just trade out? Can you just shoot me in my pinky toe or my finger or my hand or something? Shoot me in the leg. I'd rather roll the dice with a gunshot wound than I would have to ever go into the Raymond jail again with the animals and thugs out there. That's like getting thrown, speaking of the Tiger King, that's like getting thrown in a lion cage. Never, ever. I'm telling y'all, if y'all are breaking the law, do not do it in Jackson. Because if you make it out to Hinds County, you may very well never get out alive. So it never fails. You can always get a smart ass in the group. So the girl says here, no, I'm not calling her smart ass, but she said, so the Goon squad shooting that man in the mouth, was that easy? Hey, look, I think those guys put themselves in that situation. I know we're not supposed to say anything. We're supposed to just say those guys were there minding their own business. They were just perfect angels. Now, did they deserve what happened? Of course not. But they could have avoided that situation. They were told to stay away from there. They chose not to. You can make of that what you want, make of that what you will. The cops told them not to do something. They chose to keep doing it, allegedly. So, yeah, it's easy to not get shot. If you're doing the things in life you're supposed to do, it's easy to not get shot by cops. When you're living on the razor's edge and you're doing things you ain't supposed to do, you can put yourself in a situation to run across guys that are in the Goon squad and stuff of that nature. Again, they didn't deserve what happened to them, but they put themselves in that situation. Because I fail to believe that they were the only, even of all the other victims those guys had. I've read all the reports. You're not talking to somebody here who just read a headline. I read every report. All those folks that they tangled up with were criminals of some sort. None of them deserve that. Make sure I'm being clear here. You can LMAO all you want over. It does not make it. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make you right. I didn't stutter. I said they put themselves in that situation. No. We'll never know we'll never know the rest of it now. But everything that I've been told, and I believe it. Well, it wasn't as random as they want you to think it is. Again, make of that what you will. Ain't defending the Goon squad by any means. Oh, you can easily not get your ass shot by the cops. Easily. Look, you can sit here and you can do all this you want. All this for the police to come to the house without a warrant. All that stuff. Again, this wasn't their first encounter with them. Was not the first. If some cops that I believe to be dirty and dangerous warn me not to do something, and I've taken the route of trying to report it and nothing's happening, These guys are still effing with me. Hey, I'm going to just say screw it and not do the thing I'm being told not to do. Now, we don't have to like that. That don't have to be right. But you have to take some accountability and someone say, all right, look, I've lost this battle. I want to win to fight the war. I have to lose a battle, win to fight the war. I have said they were wrong. I'm not going to sit here and have a back and forth argument with a commenter. If you watch the first half of this video, I clearly said they were wrong. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to give y'all what you want. I'm not going to sit here and say that they just randomly picked a house to go up in. I just refuse to. Y'all would say I'm wrong, whatever. That is where I'm at with it. That is where I'm at with it. And look, I have talked about this ad nauseum, that even if you agree with everything else that happened, the second they sexually assaulted those guys or shot them, I mean, I just think that's the line in the sand, right? You pull out a dildo, you present the dildo to a party, you've crossed the line. And that's why he got 40 years in prison. You shoot somebody in the mouth, you cross the line. So, all right, look, I had a blast doing this tonight. I'll be on the radio tomorrow morning to talk about this very topic for 2 hours. So, y'all want to go back and forth about it, you're welcome to. This has been the Clay Edwards Show, live stream tonight. Y'all stay blessed. You want a hat, a shirt, go to buyfafo.com. There's the hats. Got black ones available too. Shirts match. Peace out.